Based on the case against hip-hop mogul Sean Diddy Combs, we are learning tonight that additional charges could soon
Combs
be
allegedly drug. What is wrong with this guy? 10-year-old boy in a Manhattan hotel room in 2005, which Combs telling aspiring musician, you have to do some stuff you don't want to do sometimes after the boy.
What the federal government sometimes does when they're continuing their investigation is they'll do a subsequent indictment which is a superseding indictment. It usually amends and replaces the original.
Can you believe what's happening right now? Like, seriously, Diddy's whole empire, everything he's built over decades, is literally crashing down faster than a house of cards in a hurricane. These lawsuits aren't just dropping, honey. They're raining down on him like there's no tomorrow. And get this, he's sitting in jail, probably wearing one of those awful orange jumpsuits instead of his designer suits, and all his millions can't buy him a get-out-of-jail-free card. But wait, because this is where it gets extra juicy. His own people, the ones who've been eating off his plate for years, are turning on him faster than milk left out in the sun. First, his publicist starts dropping these little breadcrumbs about all the dirt they're sitting on, and honey, it must be good. And then, you won't believe this, his attorney just straight up walks out of the courtroom. Like, bye, Felicia. His reputation, dead, gone, buried. And trust me when I tell you, with all these secrets bubbling up like a witch's cauldron, we're just getting started. The streets are watching like it's their favorite reality show, and everyone's placing bets on what bomb is gonna drop next. Now, let me tell you about Sean Diddy Combs' desperate attempt to taste freedom. Y'all, this man is trying everything but doing backflips to get out of jail before his trial. We're talking serious charges here. Trafficking and racketeering, and this is his third attempt at bail after getting shut down twice. Talk about not taking no for an answer. But this time, he's bringing in the heavy artillery. We're talking Anthony Rico and Alexander Shapiro joining his team. These aren't just any lawyers, sweetie. These are the kind of legal powerhouses that make other attorneys shake in their boots. They're joining Mark Agnifilo, who's already got more experience than a century-old turtle. Let me spill some exclusive tea. An insider, and trust me, they're close to the situation, whispered that Diddy's actually feeling hopeful about this one. They filed this fancy appeal notice in the Second Circuit about his detention, but don't let the legal jargon fool you. The real juicy stuff is coming in the actual appeal brief. And can we talk about this dream team for a hot minute? Tony Rico isn't just good, he's the kind of lawyer that makes other lawyers want to switch careers. And Alexander? Baby, she's the queen of appeals. We're talking about someone who's represented the biggest Wall Street players and public officials, the kind of people who have offshore accounts just for their pocket change. But here's where it gets wild. And I mean wild. Diddy's team is throwing out bail conditions that'll make your jaw drop. They're offering $50 million in collateral. That's million with an M, honey. Promising no female visitors. I mean, weekly drug testing, like it's a high school sports team, and visitor logs stricter than my grandmother's diet. But guess what? Judge Carter isn't buying what they're selling. She straight up told them, and I'm quoting here because you need to hear this, I don't believe that counsel has the ability to control you. Ouch! She's worried about all these substance and anger issues, and honestly, can you blame her?
The underdog in this bail argument, and that's because of the crime of actually creates a presumption that the defendant should be.
Now, hold on to your wigs because this next part is beyond scandalous. The government is airing out all of Diddy's dirty laundry, and honey, it stinks. They found, and I'm not making this up, over 1,000 bottles of lubricant in those raids. Like, what kind of wholesale shopping is that? And the videos they found. Violent altercations caught on camera. Plus, these absolutely wild freak-off parties where they're saying he used substances and threats to control people. It got so messy that Costco, yes, Costco of all places, had to come out and say, we don't sell baby oil in bulk, after Diddy's lawyer tried to play it off as regular household supplies. I cannot. Even. And with former allies switching sides faster than contestants on a reality show, and victims finally finding their voices, Diddy's fight for freedom is looking about as successful as a chocolate teapot. His lawyer, Mark Agnifilo, is trying to sound positive, bless his heart, saying he'll rush this case to trial. He's going on about these inhumane conditions in the Metropolitan Detention Facility's special housing unit, but honey, maybe Diddy should have thought about that before.
Is innocent
I believe he's innocent, and we're going to fight this case with all of our might until we don't have to fight any longer.
Let me tell you something. Diddy's legal team is sweating more than a sinner in church. The walls aren't just closing in, they're practically giving them a group hug at this point. And this mountain of evidence, it's giving Mount Everest a run for its money. You won't believe what U.S. Attorney Damian Williams just dropped in this letter to the judge. It's like a season finale of your favorite drama, but make it real. We're talking dozens of witnesses and victims all singing the same tune about Diddy's alleged pattern of abuse. But wait, it gets juicier. These investigators, they've been busy. They snatched up over 90 devices, phones, laptops, everything but the kitchen sink, plus more than 30 hard drives from Diddy and his inner circle. With over 300 grand jury subpoenas flying around like confetti at New Year's, they're digging into everything from tech companies to banks. Nobody's safe, honey, nobody. But the real gag? These video recordings they found of his notorious freak-offs. Child, these weren't your regular Saturday night parties. We're talking days of alleged madness where prosecutors say he used substances and intimidation to keep people under his thumb. The tea is scalding. And just when you thought this story couldn't get any more twisted, Diddy's defense team starts complaining about, wait for it, the prison food. I mean, seriously, there are allegations flying around thicker than flies at a barbecue, and they're worried about the menu. Mark Agnifilo is out here saying Diddy can't handle garbage food like he's some sort of food critic. His co-counsel Anthony R. chimed in saying nobody would be happy in jail. Well, duh! That's kind of the point, sweetie.
Diddy hungry? Sean Combs apparently refusing jail food. Some say he's missing his private.
But hold on to your pearls because this next part will make your blood run cold. A new lawsuit just dropped that's more disturbing than finding a spider in your bed. This John Doe with high-profile attorney Tony Busby, and honey, he doesn't take small cases, is claiming Diddy allegedly assaulted a 10-year-old boy back in the mid-2000s. The story is absolutely horrific. This poor child was an aspiring performer who got lured in with promises of stardom in some New York hotel room. And as if that wasn't enough to make you sick, another anonymous man stepped forward saying Diddy and his bodyguard assaulted him when he was 17 during a Making the Band audition. The audacity, the horror.
What is wrong with this guy? 10-year-old boy in a Manhattan hotel room in 2005, which Combs telling aspiring musician, you have to do some stuff you don't want to do sometimes after the boy.
And the hits just keep on coming. Word on the street, and trust me, these streets talk, is that Diddy's lead attorney, Mark Agnifilo, is about to pull a disappearing act that would make Houdini jealous. With lawsuits multiplying like rabbits, no bail in sight, and evidence piling up higher than my last credit card bill, can you really blame him for wanting to jump ship? But wait, because this tea is about to get even hotter. Natalie Moore, his ride-or-die PR queen for over 20 years, just ghosted him harder than your ex after a bad date. This woman handled everything. Every scandal, every project, every single mess Diddy got himself into. And now, poof, gone! Disconnected numbers, no forwarding address, nothing!
PR guru who has been with him for the last 20 years and helped him launch all of these different businesses, from the luxury clothes to the Ciroc, all of it quit.
Let me spill this piping hot tea about Natalie's exit. Sources, and honey, these sources are good, are saying she might be under legal scrutiny herself. Can you imagine having to testify against someone who was basically your whole career? Talk about awkward. This is the same woman who used to gush about enjoying his energy. Well, looks like that energy has officially been unplugged. Remember when Diddy was in PR Newsweek singing her praises like she was the second coming? All that she's been in my corner for almost 20 years and nobody I trust more talk? Aging like milk in the sun, if you ask me. But, child, let me tell you about Mr. Shooter, his former publicist, because this man is spilling tea hot enough to burn. We're not talking about some random trying to get their 15 minutes. This man was in Diddy's inner circle from 2002 to 2004, seeing all the drama firsthand. He had a front row seat to the whole circus. According to Shooter, and trust me, he's got receipts, When Diddy first started building his empire, it was all about being bigger than life itself. Bad Boy Records was the moment with Biggie and Usher, and Sean John was making fashion history. But here's the real tea. Shooter says Diddy was more obsessed with fame and power than a vampire is with blood. Morning, noon, and night, all Diddy thought about was Diddy. And get this! Apparently, Diddy had this absolutely bizarre obsession with the British royal family. Like, who does he think he is? He was throwing money around like confetti, offering to pay for flights, hotels, security, literally everything, just to get Prince Harry and William to show up at his parties. He even had their pictures framed in his New York apartment like some sort of royal superfan. Talk about desperate with a capital D. Now, this man is begging, yes, begging, Judge Aaron Submaranian for a gag order to shut everyone up. He's pointing fingers like a kindergartner, trying to blame everyone from the Department of Homeland Security to CNN for these unauthorized leaks. His team even had the nerve to claim DHS strategically leaked that 2016 video of him attacking Cassie Ventura just to make him look bad. Girl, I think you did that all by yourself.
For what we were calling a gag order, and I'm not going to walk out of court and do anything other than live up to that.
Talk about his demeanor in jail and what it's been like.
So here's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to answer any more questions.
But honey, the judge isn't buying what Diddy's selling, and trust me, he's trying to sell it hard. Instead of giving him this full gag order he's begging for, the judge is basically saying, just follow the basic rules, sweetie. Meanwhile, these lawsuits are multiplying faster than my shopping bags at a Black Friday sale. Ashley Parham comes out saying Diddy came for her just because she mentioned Tupac. Like, seriously? And then another John Doe drops this bomb about Diddy allegedly assaulting him back in '98 as some twisted rite of passage. I mean, what kind of sick initiation is that? And just when you thought we'd reach the bottom of this mess, guess who's living their best life spilling all the tea? 50 Cent. With 6 new cases dropping this week alone. 6, count them. 50's basically sitting back with his popcorn saying, I tried to tell y'all.
Are we being serious right now? Like, is this for real? This man 50 Cent is releasing a docuseries on Netflix. This whole time, I thought this man was joking. I thought he was capping. So the tweet says, I've been telling y'all about this weirdish. I don't do no puffy parties. You didn't believe me, but I bet you believe me now.
Y'all, 50's been keeping it realer than real, saying he always stayed far away from Diddy's infamous parties like they were the plague. In his interview with People, and trust me, this interview is everything, he laid it all out. Look, it seems like I'm doing some extremely outrageous things, but I haven't. I've been saying this for 10 years. While all of Hollywood was playing blind, deaf, and dumb to Diddy's wild parties, 50 was like, not today, Satan, not any day. The real kicker? 50's saying all these celebrities staying quiet now were probably part of the whole mess. But 50, he kept it basic, kept it normal, kept it real. And honestly, we've got to give him his flowers for that. While everyone else was caught up in Diddy's web of chaos, 50 was watching from the sidelines like, I told you so. And here's the thing about these freak-off parties. 50's been warning everyone for years. While Diddy was out here playing king of the castle, thinking he was untouchable and keeping Hollywood entertained with his wild parties and connections, 50 was like, nah, that's not my scene. He kept his distance, kept his integrity, and now he's looking like the smartest man in the room. Can we just take a moment to appreciate how 50 stuck to his guns while everyone else was getting caught up in Diddy's drama? That's what we call having a moral compass, honey. And now that everything's coming to light, 50's previous warnings are hitting different. They're hitting like a prophecy coming true. That's all the scalding, piping hot tea for today, my loves. But trust and believe, this story is far from over. It's giving us more episodes than a soap opera. Don't forget to smash that like button, hit subscribe, and stay tuned because you know there's more drama coming. The way things are going, we might need to start a whole new series just to keep up with all the tea. Until next time, keep spilling and sipping. And remember, in Diddy's world right now, the only thing certain is uncertainty, and more lawsuits dropping than rain in a thunderstorm. Stay tuned because this tea party is far from over. It's far from over. It's far